Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another iteration of the Doom of Mokha rewards blog. Been making videos on this every time they've released a new version. I think we're on number 4 here, and hopefully this is the last one because this is so much better than the other ones they've made. Really, I love these rewards that they've put out. I think that all of the feedback I've seen has been really positive, and let's just kind of get into it. Talk about why I think it's so good here. So to get started, we are still getting the Avernic treads. That's great. Love the fact that we're getting these again. I think even just the utility of not having to switch boots was already such a great quality of life upgrade. But in addition, they've actually buffed the stats on the treads as opposed to the original blog here. So as you can see, they've iterated and they have the base version and the maxed version. So the base version will drop from the boss, tradable. The max version will be, you'll combine the Serb boots and some demonic tears, which is the new consumable drop from the boss. To make this, I think that's good. We're getting a use for the consumable, and there's a couple of uses for those consumables here as well, so I think it'll hold the value really well. Be best in slot. I think there's a somewhat of an issue with these stats here. When it says that will be dropped best in slot as they come, this melee strength here says 4. This is 1 less melee strength than the primordial boots. I think this should be 5 to be honest, and then this one would be 6 here. Combining them with the serve boots will get further buffs. I still think they should allow us to revert the serve boots into crystals and combine the crystals only. That's still, I think, the best solution for this problem because, as you see here, this a little tidbit that it'll be alleviate the economic pressure on the ranger boots. I really don't think it's going to do a lot just because these max treads are going to be what anyone wants anyway. I mean, if you're a main and you have the treads, you're going to want a maxed, right? You're going to want the best in slot version. I mean, what is it like 50 mil for the boots, like for all the three Serb boots. So you're still gonna upgrade them anyway. Like no one's, unless you're an Iron Man, you might rock these. Other than that, no one's gonna rock the base ones instead of the max. So it's not really doing anything with the Ranger boots kind of gatekeeping. So again, think we should just kind of go away from that. But regardless, stats here look really good. Kind of surprised to see +2 range strength and +3 with the max boots. That's a really big upgrade. Originally, it just had +2 with the normals, and it just stayed like that. But +2 and +3 when we have 0 range strength on the Pegasians right now. Surprising. Maybe, in my mind, maybe we could go +1 range strength on the Pegasians then. Just upgrade them, just rebalance the stats and add 1 range strength. So they're still worse than the base treads, but they get something. I don't know. Regardless, it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to be using the Pegasians once these come out anyway, but I think the stats look really good. I mean, 6 melee strength, a little disappointed. Kind of wish that was 7 because 6 doesn't really give you any max hits with any weapons outside of like if you're using salve with some specific weapons, it might give you a max, but nothing like scythe, mace, claws, void waker, like any weapon you can think of, like melee weapon that you're using, it doesn't give you a max hit. Versus 7 would give you a max hit on some of those things. So, yeah, just kind of wish maybe that would be bumped up a little. But if they don't, whatever. It's still in a good spot. These are still really good rewards. Really excited to see this. +3 range strength's a big deal too. I mean, that's pretty. I think that's 2 T-bow max hits. So that's actually really good. Again, untradeable once you upgrade them, and you can revert them to their components minus the tiers. But you get to keep the Ranger boots, which is good because if you reverted them and you lost the pegs, and man, that would really be a huge peg sink. I mean, start sacking medium clues now. That's all I'll say if that was the case. They give us a concept art here. I think it looks really good. A little disappointed again that they're not doing the 3 that they're saying here, that they're not going to do the 3 aesthetic options. This is just going to be all we get. I still think it looks good. I mean, kind of black, well, it's going to fit with pretty much everything in the game. So, yeah, totally fine with that. They don't really mention here if the upgrade with the demonic tears is like corruptible. I'm assuming it is, and that these don't need to be continuously charged with tears. That would be super annoying. And we already have kind of a tier sync with the wand, so you don't really even need that. So hopefully this is corruptible. I think it is how I'm reading it, but it would be nice to get some clarity. Demonic Tears is just, yeah, like I said, this is the chargeable stuff. Use them to make the boots, and you'll use them to charge this next weapon, which is the Eye of Ayak. So just off the bat, this looks sick. Really, really cool looking wand here. Love like the Eye of Sauron kind of look here. Would be really cool if they could make this like if this was blinking in game. Like if you look at the Din's Bulwark, the eye on the Din's Bulwark will blink. If we could have this blink too, that'd be pretty cool too. And like maybe even like blink like a cat, like vertically. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Just like kind of like the Eye of Sauron. So yeah, this is a 3-tick mage weapon, which praise the Lord because people have been asking for a 3-tick mage weapon forever. I mean, I've wanted the 3-tick mage weapon forever, and it will sit somewhere between the Sang Staff and the Shadow. Again, people have been asking for this forever. This is the biggest gap in the game by far is Sang Staff to Shadow. This is a huge, 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 huge DPS gap. So really nice to see this getting filled. I would say, just from a selfish point of view, a little disappointed we're going to devalue the Sang Staff here. With this upgrade, Sang Staff is basically dead content now. And it's kind of sad to see, you look at the top rewards, we have the Rapier, well, you know, we have a Vernic, it's good, it's super marginal. In general, everything except the Scythe is incredibly marginal. The Rapier is super marginal from the Dragon Defender. In fact, it's so marginal that we've tried to add a new defender into the game for years, and we haven't been able to because there's literally no gap to fill between the Dragon Defender and the Avernic Defender without completely devaluing the Avernic. So I really think they should just look at rebalancing the Avernic, to be honest. I mean, one-handed, I wouldn't say one-handed melee weapons are necessarily, you know, overpowered. I mean, especially now that you're not using Dragon Warhammer anymore. Like, what are you using one-handed melee weapons for? Like Void Waker and then like Slayer. That's basically it. So I think it's kind of time. Let's give Avernic a buff. But we have Avernic, barely an upgrade. We have Rapier, dead content. We have Sang, will be dead content. We have Justy, all of its dead content. And then we have Scythe, which is obviously really good. So now we have, what is that, 7 rewards. 2 out of the 7 rewards are good, and 5 out of the 7 rewards are completely dead content. So little disappointed just personally to see that. Kind of wish we were able to do something like an offhand, or not even an offhand, but like kind of the way the Veil worked, where it's buffing the Sang indirectly, but instead of just adding a new weapon here. But, you know, regardless, I do like this weapon. I am net positive that they're adding this into the game, and I think a 3-tick wand will be really cool, change a lot of metas, change a lot of strategy with the way you approach things. In general, Jagex adding different attack speed weapons into the game is good because it just adds different strategies, different metas. I mean, think about like going from, you know, Sang, old Mage Hand to Shadow, right? It's a completely different strategy, a lot more complicated than just, you know, running the head with a 4-tick weapon. Using a 5-tick weapon, there's more strategy involved. Just in general, kind of learning those new metas. That's a good thing, net positive. So special attack here increases max hit, and it drains your opponent's mage defense. So yeah, gonna help the T-bow. Uses 100% of the spec. I think maybe we could have had that like 75%, maybe even 50%. I don't think this needed to be 100% of the spec, but you know, it's a cool special. I don't know how useful it's gonna necessarily be though, to be honest. I don't really know exactly where you would use it. I mean, you'd probably use it at like, well, I don't know, because where would you be bringing this in just as a spec? I don't know. I'll leave that up for some other people because I'm thinking like maybe Zevak and Toa. It could be really good for Tebow there, but outside of that, I really am not sure where the Tebow like isn't good right now that this would make it really good. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that. I'll let other people take a look, but and you charge it with demonic tears. Is it just demonic tears? No, it's oh, interesting. 2 death runes, 1 chaos runes, or 1 demonic tear. That's kind of interesting. I think they should just make it 1 demonic tear. I don't even think you should have these runes. Like, just make them demonic tears. It's the only charge. That's what I think. But you know, whatever. Special attack, double accuracy, blah blah blah. 83 magic. Next, Confliction Gauntlet. So these are upgraded Torm Gauntlets. This is cool. So, you know, in general, we're adding 2% mage damage to Torms. That's fine. You know, we've been devaluing Zenites now. It's time. I mean, obviously, we just saw the Rancor come to the game, devalued the Torture. Now we're seeing this. I mean, Zenites come from a slay or a quest mob, not even a quest boss, a literal just monster you kill in the quest. So totally fine with moving on from those. Obviously, they're going to make it a charge-scape, though, as you know, or not charge-scape, an upgrade-scape. You're going to have the Torm to upgrade it if you're a Stinky Iron, but regardless, what's cool here, passive effect. So when you miss a magic attack, your next magic attack of the same type, it's the same weapon or spell, against the same enemy will roll accuracy twice. That is super, super cool. Really, really good upgrade. This will be great for like any content in the game where you're freezing. So like I'm just thinking off the dome, freezing like if you're doing Bandos, right? So you're maging, because meta is just a mage Bandos with a shadow and just freeze him and then just shadow him to death. When you're freezing him at the start, like sometimes you can splash like 5 times in a row and it's super annoying. Versus now you'll get this, you splash once and then your next one is almost guaranteed to hit when you're rolling double accuracy. That's like basically a guaranteed hit. They describe it here like it's not really going to affect the shadow because the shadow is basically never missing anyway. So the double accuracy, like you have like a 99% accuracy anyway. So what's doubling that going to do, right? So it's not going to really affect the shadow, but it'll affect other, like the new wand. It'll affect that. So yeah, just really cool. You won't be hitting like 8 zeros in a row now. So really good like passive effects, stuff like that's really cool. Really good to bring into the game. Artwork here. It looks a lot like the Torm ornament kit, which I think looks cool, but maybe could make it a little more unique, I guess. I don't know. Nothing huge here. And then the last reward, the demonic D word. So this is a really, really interesting and unique and cool reward. I think this is like they should really Jagex needs to bring more stuff like this into the game because this is something that we're not, changing any metas. We're not devaluing content. We're not power creeping. This is just a straight like QOL skilling buff, and it's gonna be a pretty useful reward. I mean, I would imagine this is gonna go for like 10 mil. And yeah, I mean, it's not hurting anything. It's just sick. So this is basically a demonic spade. You make it by getting a tradable drop, and then you corrupt it with tiers. So yeah, one time tier cost, not a charge, and then it's untradable. Again, they're making just make it all tradable. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, when farming crops, spade actions will be processed instantly. That's super awesome. So basically, you can like one tick one tick all of your crops or like herbs on herb runs without having to like spam click the allotment, which that's super exciting. Like just super cool little quality of life here. So yeah, that's it for the rewards. Again, I think they knocked it out of the park here. I think everything on here is really great. I think the big ticket stuff is the wand. I think the wand is going to be relatively expensive. The treads will also be pretty cool. Gauntlets, obviously. I mean, if you look like if you're a max main, all three of these are must-haves. The boots are a must-have. I mean, maybe the wand if you're not like into Tob, if all you do is Toa, it might not be a must-have, but the gauntlets are obviously a must-have. And then, I mean, the diggers, it's not going to be too expensive. It's pretty much a must-have too if you're ever going to be doing any skilling. So, yeah, in general, these are all great rewards. I think this boss is in a really good spot. I think it's going to be really good money. The fact that the chargeable stuff, the tiers, the consumable that it drops is going to have value. The fact that it's tied. I just think that they should make this Eye of Ayuk, just make this cost per attack only one demonic tier. Don't let you use runes because I could see that maybe decreasing the price of the tiers, or it's just going to tie the tiers to the cost of. I guess that's what they want. They want to tie the tiers to the cost of 2 death runes and 1 chaos rune. I don't know how much money that is off the top of my head. It's like 500 GP maybe. I don't know. That seems right. So they want it to be like 500 GP per tier, and that's like the floor value for the tiers. Will never obviously go below that. So I guess that's what they're trying to do. Whatever. It'll still be good money. This will be a really fun boss. Hopefully they knock it out of the park with the mechanics. Hopefully it's really fun. Excited for it. Kind of bummed that we're gonna have to wait until like July to get it. Now that we're getting these rewards, we've been hearing about this boss for so long, and the fact that we're gonna get Yama before it just, kind of a little, I don't know, just feels a little weird to me. But hopefully we can get the blog for the new soul armor. Hopefully we can get the concept art for the soul armor soon, because I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Hopefully it looks really good if it's going to be replacing Blorva. Again, really sucks that the meta is going to end up being Blorva helm and the soul body and legs. I hate mix and matching. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Hopefully they could do something about it. Doubt they will, but if they don't, hopefully they just make it cool at least, and hopefully we can get to see what that art looks like soon. So, as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the rewards, and have a great rest of your day.